real quick, my ring light broke. I'm just going to preface that. I think this looks fine. This looks okay. You can see me. My computer gives off enough light, but my ring light broke. So this is what it's going to look like until I get a new one, which will hopefully be soon enough. They're not expensive. They're like $13. I can get one off Amazon. I need to just do it. But my ring light broke. So until we get to that point where it's not, we're going to have what I'm calling Church of Satan lighting. Like if I suck at a video game, if I'm getting my ass whooped online and somebody's like, oh, you suck. It's like, no, that's a good thing that I'm a grown man who's not good at this video game. It's a good thing to be a grown man who doesn't have the time and patience to commit to getting like crazy autistically good at a video game. That's a good thing. You should feel good about that. We're getting cooked to death by the sun every day. Just let it happen. Just let it happen. Let it take us. Let us freeze over, sun, whatever it's going to be. We deserve it. At the end of the day, we deserve it. You can sit there and lie to yourself and be like, oh, what are we going to do? What are we going to do to reverse climate change? Nothing. It is the right punishment for the sins of humanity. What are you talking about? It's Mother Nature purging a cancer. You kind of just like, look, the trees win. The woods win. The forests win. If the woods say, all right, we got to cook these motherfuckers alive, they might be onto something. Why would the trees say that? Why would the trees ever have any need to ever say that about anybody or anything ever? What did you do to the trees to make them be like, yo, we got to cook all of these motherfuckers? What did you do? Whatever you did to push the trees, the dirt, to that point, you probably have it coming. Let's be real with ourselves. At that point, you probably have whatever's happening to you coming. Aren't they, like, legitimately trying to bring back dinosaurs? This isn't some weird, like, tabloid news. Like, it's a real thing that's happening. They're legitimately trying to bring back dinosaurs. Why? It feels so, like, corny to say it, but at a certain point, like, have you seen Jurassic Park? Remember those big, giant chickens that were the size of, like, fucking 11 of us and just ran around eating everything they saw? Yeah, let's run that back. Yeah, let's get that shit going again. What are you, a 5-year-old? Are 5-year-olds in charge? This is what we're doing. I want to bring the dinosaurs back. If I have one wish, when I grow up, I'm gonna be a scientist, and I'm gonna do the science until they bring the dinosaurs back. That's real now. Toddlers, every single one of them, legitimately, in like a world, in a country, in a whatever, full of people who need food and health care and social services and all this, Yeah, we're bringing velociraptors back. What's that? Oh, you have cancer and it's not covered by your insurance and you're probably going to die? Hey, that sucks. But good news, on the bright side, do you remember Triceratops? They're coming back. The name of this video is I ate nothing but Waffle House for a week straight. All right. And let me just say this right off the bat. That is not a YouTube challenge. That is called working at a warehouse where the closest thing to eat is a Waffle House. Your little YouTube challenge is countless amounts of Midwesterners and Southerners day-to-day experience. Okay? This is white trash stolen valor, and I will stand on that. My culture is not your costume. Okay? Let me also just preface this with, I'm a little bit jealous. I would love to live off of nothing but Waffle House for a week straight. I have to pop into a Waffle House to recharge like a certain energy about me. Like I really just have to like recharge my white trash powers every now and then. You live in the big city and the hustle and bustle, and it's just like, look, every couple months, you got to go in and you got to watch a meth-addicted line cook punch out a mother of 3 in Cookie Monster pajama pants in front of 2 of the children. Where's the third child? Honestly, nobody's sure. Not even her. Waffle House, baby. I will take it over any Michelin star any day or whatever. But okay, this guy's cooking up. Let's see what he's got. He's eating nothing but Waffle House for a week straight. Let's see.
I'm attempting to eat nothing but Waffle House for the next 7 days to celebrate.
Okay, first off, again, there is no attempt. You either do this or you don't. Okay, motherfucker? Again, there are, at this very moment, in this second that I am talking, that we are watching this video, there are 10 Speedway gas station cashiers who are living this reality day in and day out, and they do. It is not filmed. It is not going on the internet, and nobody knows about them. It is purely for the love of the game, all right?
My first side quest, which was to acquire the extended menu. At lunch, my waitress said she didn't think that they had a full menu for me to look at. I had seen something online about salads, so I figured I'd ask, but she said she didn't think they sold salads. But I wasn't...
Okay, buddy. First off, if you walk into a Waffle House being like, looking like you, if you walked into a Waffle House wearing a suit, being like, can I get a salad and your special menu? I'm not saying you deserve to get your ass kicked. I'm just saying there's a very high probability of that happening. And I'm not going to do anything about it. Just saying. You brought this on yourself. Don't bring your big city slicker shit into Waffle House, dude. You're lucky that they let you into Waffle House not actively addicted to crack cocaine. All right? That's a favor every time they do that for you. Okay? This is their domain. Respect it. You're going to walk in. You're going to order whatever you want to order. It's not promised that that's what you're going to get, but you're going to sit down and you're going to eat it and you're going to like it. Welcome to Waffle House.
Some items on the extended menu that aren't on the favorites menu include omelets, BLTs, pork chops, and T-bone steaks.
You don't need this. You don't need your super secret menu to order a BLT at Waffle House. You go into Waffle House and say, can I get a BLT? And a man with 5 felonies and an apron that hasn't been washed in 5 months goes, yeah. And then you eat a BLT. Why are we bringing math and homework into this?
People associate Waffle House with breakfast and late night, but they're sleeping on the dinner menu. At one point, I think I might have been the only...
No, they're not. No, they're not. There is a reason that people are sleeping on the dinner menu. And again, they are not, quote, sleeping on the dinner menu. They are doing it because they are going to work tomorrow for 12 hours in a factory in Muncie, Indiana that has no air conditioning. And they don't want to have to do that on top of having diarrhea. On top of having Waffle House pork chop diarrhea. They're not sleeping on it. They're looking out for their well-being. And you went during decent hours. You don't go to Waffle House during decent hours. You don't go to Waffle House during the hours of the day where God's still awake. This is not, no. That's not how the waffle works, baby. Awful Waffle got different rules, okay?
And I've vastly underestimated the size of the omelets. I mean, look how big these things are.
Yeah, they gonna hook you up, baby. Again, these people are making breakfast for people who are about to go work construction violently hungover. And they know this. Waffle House is well aware of this. They got to keep them boys happy. Okay, so here's a fun fact about Waffle House. If you've never been to one and you don't know, Waffle House does not use computers at all. They have no POS system, nothing. Everything is done by hand. The waitress writes everything down on a notepad, adds it all up manually, and charges you that. There was a Waffle House in Cincinnati that I used to go to that was actually kind of out of my way. It was next to where I went to high school, but then I moved out and I moved elsewhere in the city. But it was out of my way, and I would purposefully go to that Waffle. I would go out of my way to go to that Waffle House to eat, because I would always get this one waitress who was horrible at math, and my bill was always like a few bucks cheaper than it was supposed to be, just because this lady didn't know how to do math, which is wild. That's a wild business. That's a wild system to have, to be like, all right, no computers. Everything is done in your head by hand, all the math. Also, we're going to exclusively hire people who are in the active throes of violent fentanyl addiction. It's perfect. How could this go wrong? Waffle House, baby.
Becky also made some recommendations like getting hash browns all the way or ordering a waffle with every possible topping.
Hold on. When you say every possible topping, what does that mean? Are we throwing hash browns on the waffle? That is a possible topping. Possible toppings means whatever they got in the bag of that bitch at Waffle House. Don't say every possible topping if you don't mean it, motherfucker. Are you brave? Are you brave like that? Are you brave enough to eat a scrambled egg hash brown waffle with chocolate chips? I don't know if I'm that brave, but I'm that stupid. So there's that.
As I was leaving with my chicken sandwiches to go, someone asked me if I wanted any mayonnaise or waffle sauce. And in my head, I was like, ma'am, do you mean syrup? But what I said out loud was, did you say waffle sauce? And oh my goodness, it was amazing. It's like this Chipotle mayonnaise, Where has this been all my life? It was like poetry. You should ask for some next time you get a sandwich from Waffle House.
I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that. Because you got the manager. You got the manager who cares, right? You have the manager who's getting paid at least a somewhat decent wage, who actually has somewhat investment in this business because they're the store manager, right? The actual store manager is the one who always actually gives a shit. So, of course, she's going to be like, oh, here you go. This is going to be so good for the whatever. I guarantee you, everybody watching this, when you walk into Waffle House, you're not going to get that. You're not going to get that. You're going to get a dude with 4 felonies who is this close to walking out the door. And you go up and you say, can I have waffle sauce? That man might punch you. And fair. You stepped in the ring. This is what happens. Welcome to the Octagon.
I learned that waffles were invented by Sir Edward Waffle in 1748 after he accidentally...
All right, well, you just ruined waffles for me by doing homework.
I found out later that some locations will let you sub the hash browns for fresh tomatoes, if you're into that sort of thing. But I was 3 days in...
What fucking nerd? What dork would have the audacity to walk into a Waffle House and say, can you please replace my hash browns with tomatoes? Oh, I don't want any hash browns. Can I get tomatoes instead? Can I get a pile of chopped tomatoes instead of hash browns? I'm calling the police. I'm calling the police just so they can see what I did, what I'm doing to you, and they can be like, we understand. We understand, and we thank you for your service, sir. Thank you for doing this to the community. What a fucking dork. And I go, I know, right? And then everybody goes home happy. Holy shit. I can't believe that that dude can't exist. That can't be like a real guy. There's no way. I go with the grits. Grits, you throw a little butter, a little syrup in there, mix. Ooh. God damn, I want some Waffle House, dude. Grits. Thinking about these grits got my pee-pee all tingly.
A BLT and a chicken sandwich. I also ate my second breakfast sandwich as an afternoon snack.
I'm just saying, man, this guy is going really hard on the Waffle House chicken, and I don't trust it. I don't trust it. This is a brave soul to being like, yeah, I'm eating pork chops and chicken sandwiches from Waffle House. It's like, buddy, you don't do that. We don't do that.
For dinner, I tried to order the tomato salad off the extended menu, which just got everybody confused. They said that they've had salads in the past, but they were surprised it was still listed on their extended menu. The grill operator very kindly offered to make me a garden salad with lettuce, tomato, and onions, but he said he was pretty sure they didn't have any dressing or anything to put on it. So I thanked him, and I was like, please don't worry about it. I'll just have hash browns all the way instead.
Yeah, that's so great. That's what should happen. That is what should happen when you try to order a salad in a Waffle House. Should be the grill chef standing there staring at you through the eyes that are... He woke up drunk and he's still waiting for it to go away. And he's like, I can throw a bunch of lettuce and shit in a bowl for you, but I ain't got nothing to put on it. That's what should happen when you try to order a Waffle House. When you try to order a salad at Waffle House. That's exactly what should happen.
The All-Star Challenge. The idea here is that you go to the Touch Tunes jukebox and select All-Star by Smash Mouth and have to finish the All-Star special by the time the song ends. Right up my alley. I definitely made eye contact with some girl sitting at the Alexis Ohanian booth who was just absolutely disgusted at how I was shoving my face with hash
yeah, dude, people don't know you. They don't know what you're doing. They see just a normal looking white dude sitting alone in a booth in Waffle House with a camera set up, shoveling food into his mouth, going, somebody once told me the world was gonna roll me. I hate the sharpest tool in the shed. Yeah. A teenager's gonna giggle at that. How much of YouTube is just people eating shit? It's just people being like, I tried the Dunkin' Donuts breakfast nader. I'm going to eat it in my car, tell you what I think. What happened to just eating fast food in your car alone in shame and not sharing it with the world? What happened to that? We used to be a proper country. You used to just get 3 McChickens, pull it straight up into the first spot, and just sit there and munch on them alone and think about everything that went wrong in your life. That was called being an American adult. And it was fine. And it was okay. I don't know what happened or where it happened or what the bump in the road was that caused everybody to be like, you know what? No, I shouldn't eat this sausage McMuffin in my 2002 Honda Civic alone. The world needs to see this. They need to share it and experience it. This is important. People need this right now. Or, dude, this is another one. I ate nothing but dollar store food for 72 hours. Again, this is not a YouTube challenge. This is people's everyday in and out life. This is not some crazy prank. Or be like, wouldn't it be crazy if I ate nothing but the dollar store for 72 hours? Dude, wouldn't it be crazy if you ate nothing but dollar store food ever because that's all you could afford or that's all that's in your town? That's the reality for countless amounts of people. Meanwhile, we're sitting here like, this is so cute. Oh, wouldn't it be fun? It's nothing but dollar store food for like 3 days? That's crazy. Who would do that? A families. There's like a mother of 3 who does that right now. Not for YouTube, not for the internet, solely the love of the game.
Hot dogs are an all-American fare, but most likely it was German sausage makers who first came up with the idea.
This brings up an interesting point. I was talking to somebody about a while back about like, what would you consider American food? What is an American food, or what makes something like an American food or American cuisine? And, you know, somebody pointed out, everybody brings up hamburgers, right? That's an American food. And somebody says, no, that came from Hamburg. That's German. Well, yes and no. Hamburgers are based off of something similar that they had in Germany, but it wasn't like a hamburger as we know it. The hamburger was kind of the Americanized version of something similar in Germany. But to a bigger point, if you bring up anything that you would call, quote, an American food, you can always point back to somewhere else, because that's the whole point of America, is that we're this giant melting pot. So it's, I mean, millions of different people from a million different places all coming together in one. So, I mean, yeah, it makes sense that our cultural cuisine and the things that are like distinctly American can all be somewhat traced back to other places, because everybody in America can be somewhat traced back to other places. This is a long-winded way of saying I would eat like all of those hot dogs in that picture right now. This is what the dude who ate Waffle House for a whole week straight saw in the toilet every single night.
Processed chicken trimmings are added to the ground meat, followed by...
Hold on, what do you mean chicken trimming? Go back, hold on.
Trimmings are added to the ground meat.
That's not chicken trimmings. That is a liquid. Chickens is solid. Chickens ain't water. Chickens is hard.
Corn syrup adds a dash of sweetness.
I didn't know that they put corn syrup in hot dogs. Also, I've never gotten hints of sweetness from my hot dogs. If I bit into a hot dog and it was sweet, I might think that I'm having a stroke. Also, who was the first person to bite into the hot dog and be like, it's pretty good, but I think we could sweeten it up a little bit? The meat tube? Sweet meat tube? That's what we're going for? Sweet meat tube. All right. I'm uncomfortable with the amount of liquid meat I have seen so far. Yeah, let me get a dirty water dog, ketchup, mustard, and a 2 packets of Sweet and Low on there if you could. Thank you. That is the face of somebody who did not think that they were going to spend their life at the Wiener Factory. Hot dogs.
This factory manufactures an incredible 300,000 hot dogs an hour.
Pink hot dogs.
That's close to 2.5 million
Good
per
hot
shift.
dogs.